Okay, so since you guys are always asking questions, I thought I'd do a Q&A. The first question was, what are your GCSE subjects?
Okay, so my GCSEs that I'm taking are biology, chemistry, physics, the two Englishes, two maths because I'm doing ad maths as well, Latin, French, music, and history.
Originally in year 7, I was doing like drama, Japanese, DT, art, all these things, but basically my mom said I had to choose history. And then music and French were also kind of compulsory because you need to learn creative and language. And I kind of regret not taking Japanese, but oh well, it is what it is. So yes, I'm doing a total of 11 GCSEs, and I think right now it's quite manageable. And the second one was, how do you manage your time while doing YouTube and studying? Is it balanced? I'm a med student and find your videos really inspirational. They remind me of middle school life. If you've seen my day in the life, you'll know that YouTube video is like something that I work on throughout, and I find that I can divide my time up pretty well, so I find myself not running out of time. And studying, I definitely should be studying more, but as of right now, I think there is a nice balance, but it's kind of hard sometimes trying to balance it with instruments and other out of school activities and stuff like that. And also another thing I'd say is that if you want to start a YouTube channel but you're scared you won't have time to study, you always do have time, you just need to prioritize things. So I talk about minimalism a lot back in my older videos, but basically focus on things that mean a lot to you. So for me, my business, YouTube, school, and fitness are what matters. So I just tend to try and focus on those three things. And then if you schedule things that don't matter around that, you'll always find time to do it. The fourth question is, how do you study for long periods of time without losing focus? So if you've seen my videos, you know I talk a lot about deep work. So for me, I find that if I study for long periods, that in itself is bad because I find myself losing focus. So I try and group all my work together, and then I try and study that bit deeply in a flow state so I can finish that, and then I just do whatever I want for the rest of the day, whether that's sports, going to the gym, or just chilling. Or if you are in a situation of having to study for long periods of time, I'd recommend that know what works best for you, because some people can focus on 90 minutes, 2 hours, but some people have to take breaks every 30 minutes. So just trying to find what works for you is best. So what is your MBTI? My MBTI is INTP or INTJ, and the reason there's two is because the last one's just like 50-50, so every time I do the test it either goes to one or the other. But yeah, INTJ or P basically. Do I prefer winter, summer, autumn, or spring? I'm definitely a winter person. Like Christmas is just on top. I don't care what anyone else says. Am I a school dinner kid or a packed lunch kid? So actually, if my parents love me, they'd make me pack lunch, but they don't. So I have to take school dinner. And the food there at school, it's questionable, but it's okay. Last week we had these raw meatballs. They gave us 2 really big meatballs, like they were the size of my fist, and they were both raw, so it's questionable, but it's okay. The next one, is it Jspark or Jspark or Jspark? Okay, so originally when I came up with the name, my initials, Spark, Spark, that's kind of catchy, so I wanted to do that, but obviously firstly that's one syllable, and there was already a channel with like 1 million subscribers with that name, so I was trying to add a syllable because 2-syllable YouTube names are proven to like do the best. And so J is just like the first letter of my Korean name as well, so originally it's Jspark, but everyone calls me JSpark. I haven't seen someone call me just Spark, but yeah, it is meant to be Jspark, but I honestly don't care. The next one is, can you speak Korean? 당연하지. I can fly you out to Dubai and take care of you, baby girl. What inspired you to create a YouTube channel on studying, motivation / self-help? Okay, so basically at the start of summer, my parents said that I wasn't going anywhere, so I'd be staying at home for the whole time. So I wanted to try and make some money this summer and also just improve my speaking skills as well, because I was meant to be doing work experience, but I couldn't find anything because I'm too lazy. So I reckon that if I grew my YouTube channel and just focused on my speaking skills and English skills, that could also be a valid way of spending my summer. So at first, it was more self-help orientated motivation because that was the more kind of things I wanted to talk about back then. And so I told myself that by the end of summer, I'll delete my YouTube channel because it would just be like something that I do for fun. But literally on the last day of like before going back to school, I was on holiday and this video just popped off for no reason, and then I gained like 30k subscribers in 2 days. So I just ended up sticking to it and orientating it a bit more to studying because I started school as well then. And yeah, that's how it is. And who inspired me? I'd say that I was just always wanted to do it. I guess for everyone, it's something that you want to do, but you can't find the point where you want to start. But I guess one day, like at the start of summer, I was like, I have 9 weeks, so just why not screw it? And then I just started one. The next one, I haven't slept in days in 7th grade at the moment. Is there anything I can do to keep on top of assignments and tests? I've studied for 8 hours at home per day and I've got any rest, please help. Damn, 7th grade and you have studied for 8 hours a day and you haven't slept in days. Firstly, go to sleep. I don't know why you're not sleeping for days. I'm confused what 7th grade you're going to that you have to study 8 hours a day. Prioritize your sleep. The reason that you probably can't get rest and be on top of your assignments is that you haven't slept in days. And also just try and manage your stuff wisely. If you're studying for 8 hours, I doubt most of it's productive, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. So just condense the amount of time you have to study and then schedule things that you can do in those times. And I recommend these videos if you haven't seen them already. Do you do DOV, and if so, how do you manage to complete the expedition/requirements? Okay, so I actually did do DOV. I did my DOV bronze and silver, and I am thinking of doing gold. And the requirements, funnily enough, weren't actually difficult because they were something that I was already doing in my free time. Like instruments was my skills. Physical, I do a lot of sports, so I did badminton or kickboxing for that one. And then volunteering, I coached badminton and I also taught English for a bit. And I hated the expeditions because it's like really cold and my group was low-key kind of silly. So we got lost a lot, but you know, it was kind of fun. I would recommend it actually. It gives you good experience, and especially if you aren't doing a skill and sports right now. And the next one is, what are your fitness goals? Okay, so I've been going to the gym for around a year and I've been doing badminton quite consistently throughout, and I also started kickboxing a while back as well. And so my goal right now is, since it's winter, I'm on the winter bulk, and so I guess I just want to try and build more muscle mass while bulking. Having that cart look but also building muscle is something that's like a desire that you want to both have, and you just need to choose one of them, and I guess that's kind of difficult. But yeah, throughout the winter I've decided I'm going to like try and focus on the gym more and just bulk up a bit. What is your relationship status? If you are single, then are you planning to date? What is your type? Okay, so my relationship status, like everyone was speculating, and the thing is, I do have a girlfriend. We're married, we're living in France happily. We have 5 cats, and yeah, living a happy life. How are you not bothered by what others think and do? So I guess this question is asking, how am I not bothered by what others think? So for the YouTube thing, I was just thinking of deleting it, as I said, but in the end I didn't. And a lot of people, it's like half and half. There are people who are kind of admiring me for being able to start this because obviously it's quite a big step, but there's also people who obviously think it's quite funny. I'm doing it because I enjoy it and it's something that can only benefit me. So I guess, although as silly as it sounds, just focus on yourself, because these people, what are they to you? Like obviously you're probably not even going to see them a lot, so why are you taking their thoughts into consideration? And on top of that, I just say it's not even as bad as I thought. I thought people would like make fun of me and stuff, but a lot of people just don't care, or if they do, they just acknowledge it. And so sometimes just overthinking what could happen is what makes it the worst part, and in reality it's not as bad as you think. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What country, married, job? Okay, so ideally I think in 10 years I'd like to be living in like Korea, because like Korea is just the GOAT country. And then for my job, I think anything I'm happy to do. So I think right now YouTube, I'm thinking of it as more of a side thing, especially because my niche is more like studying. I could do that alongside whatever I want to do. So if I go to university, etc., being married would be nice. And just in 10 years, if I'm not dead, I'd be pretty happy with that. The next one, can you buy me a new matching teddy bear onesie? Sure. The next one, can you share a memorable moment from your YouTube journey? So I'd say when I was on holiday and then I hit 1,000 subscribers, but then the day after that I hit like 10,000. That was quite shocking to me. And people always say like, wow, isn't it so good that you blow up? But for me, it was kind of just more overwhelming, and it was just a change in numbers. So it was just more of a shift in perspective, since it was always more like I was used to views in the hundreds, but now I was getting thousands. That just became the norm, so it's not that much different as you would think. The next one is, can you cook? Not well. I set off the smoke alarm a lot, but yeah, I'm learning. But I can cook for you. I can make lasagna soup and it's a delicacy. The next one is, what do you think about your teachers? My teachers, I like all of them. yeah, I'm not saying this because I'm like scared they'll watch this, but genuinely, I think I've got pretty lucky with my teachers, and most of them I had since last year, and I think they all teach pretty well and make their subjects interesting. And that's why I'm so split about A-level decisions. So I think I might probably do IB because all the subjects I'm pretty good at, but I also just like all of them. There's none that I really dislike. So yeah, I think my teachers are pretty good, and I think I'm quite lucky to have teachers that are good. And the second to last one is, how do you study when you have constant interruptions from family or others? I just say, especially if you're a student like me, interruptions from family or others are things that you can't control, especially from family. Like, you shouldn't try and ignore your family. And if anything, if they do keep interrupting you, I just say, talk to them and just say, I just want to study this for 2 hours, so I'd appreciate it if you just let me study. And then they'd probably understand. And for others, the interruptions you have to ask yourself, is it self-inflicted or are they inflicting it upon you? Because if you're the one that's checking your phone when you could put it in another room, that's your fault. I try and limit your interruptions, but there's also ones that you can't avoid. So just having a good balance and then focusing when you can. Also, a bonus tip for this one is, if you can wake up early or stay up really late to have time for yourself, I find that works, so I like to wake up early. And the last question is, did you ever fail? I always constantly fail, but I feel like, as cringe as it sounds, I haven't actually failed like properly. Whenever you don't succeed, I honestly do feel like, for me anyway, I write everything down, and so I won't make the same mistake next time. So yeah, this is my Q&A.